Thank you for listening to the Gateway to the Rockies podcast from Visit Aurora. From the rafters of the Stanley Marketplace, this is the show dedicated to telling the stories of Aurora, Colorado. Hi there, I'm Dave, the Senior Marketing Manager for Visit Aurora. There's a really fascinating exhibit at the Aurora History Museum. It's part of their Mosaic of Cultures series. The Nepalese Community Exhibit will be on display for the better part of the next year. And today I'm thrilled to be joined by Binisha Shrestha, Executive Director of the Colorado Nepalese Community. Thank you for taking the time today.
You're most welcome, and thank you for asking me out here.
First, I'm marveled by what you're wearing today. You came from a presentation at the Aurora History Museum. You're wearing a traditional Sherpa outfit, is that correct?
Yes, this is Sherpa outfit. It is called Bakku, and mostly worn by the women in the mountains.
It looks incredible. Do you get an opportunity to wear your cultural garb often?
Usually in the festivals, yes. In the regional festival, I try to wear it often in trying to represent myself, where I come from. And then people will be curious to look at, and then they will ask me questions on where this custom is from. And then it's a great opportunity to tell them about the representation and then identify myself as well. Obviously,
this is a podcast, so it's hard to see the outfit, but beautiful purples and pinks, and it's very ornate, a very beautiful outfit, and hopefully we'll post a photograph along with this episode. Can you share a little bit about your personal journey and how you came to become the Executive Director of the Colorado Nepalese Community?
Yes, of course. So starting with my name, I am Binisha Shrestha. Lots of people ask me my pronunciation, so it's Binisha. It's pretty easy, actually. And then I'm a founder of Colorado Nepalese Community. It's a non-profit based in Aurora, Colorado. So starting with this, I am from Nepal, Kathmandu. I was born and raised there, and since a decade I've been living here.
Wow.
And when I came here initially, I was totally unknown of the system here. It was totally different from the place I come from. And initially it was very difficult to get through the system, getting to know what it goes here. And then most of the community resources were like inaccessible to us, people like us. We didn't know where the resources were. So we were just literally asking people, about the system, about the rules, about the laws. And then asking with people was much more difficult. And then accessing in the website, calling people, it was so difficult. So I felt if we could give this kind of community resources in our community, then it would be so helpful for the people in the community. So with that concept, we started a group among our friends, and then the Colorado Nepalese Community was born.
It's beautiful because you can connect with people you have a common experience with. You can have a community that is here. I imagine you also help for those who are coming from Nepal for the first time. They finally feel like they have some support when they arrive here.
Yes, exactly. Since we go through that phase of being so unknown, being so new here, we basically facilitate people coming from our country who are new Americans here, and then we facilitate them with, be it with the healthcare, be it with establishing themselves in the new city, and then basically we conduct one-on-ones with them, what kind of resources they're looking for, what kind of concerns they have, the aspirations they have. We collect all the data according to their viewpoint and organize programs according to that.
Could you give me some insight into what life was like for you in Kathmandu?
It was more of very laid back, easy one. Being a native Kathmandu, I was more of a city person, but totally unaware of the Western world. And then after we moved here, it was totally new. Like, have you been to South Asia before?
No, I have not.
For people who go to South Asia, like places like Nepal, it will be a totally unimaginable country going back to the time machine of 1,000 years back. So it's basically like that. And then after coming here, it was like the life was like 360-degree change. We had to cope up with the new language. Like English is not my first language. I also speak 4 other languages.
Wow.
And then most of the people in Nepal are multilingual. And or the biggest similarity in between Aurora, Colorado, and the place I come from, Nepal, is the mountains.
Yeah.
Wherever you go, you can see the mountains in Nepal, and Colorado for the same. And then the biggest thing for the newcomers like us is seeing the mountains,
right.
Like that feeling of home, because it's the same back in the country as well. And then it was basically life was more laid back, easy, and then here it was like a totally different one. Yeah.
The mountains here, though, might even be smaller than they are in Nepal, right?
For your information, Nepal has 8 out of 10 highest peaks in Nepal.
Yeah.
And then we literally grew up on the mountainside. And I have met many people here. Being an immigrant, they would ask me, where am I from? And I would say, I come from Nepal. And there are also so many people, they would say, where is Nepal? They don't know. And then I had to ask them further, tell them, have you heard of Mount Everest before?
Right.
And they would say, yes, and Mount Everest is in Nepal. I had to tell them.
Right.
So yes, there's a lot of similarity in between the place I am living in and then the place I come from.
So it's one thing to come here and become a part of the community, and then you want to begin to share your community and express the beautiful culture and history that your community provides. The Aurora History Museum has a series of exhibits called Mosaics of Culture. How did that conversation begin? Did they reach out? Did you reach out initially, or did you submit an opportunity to exhibit? How did those initial conversations come together?
Yes, I was very involved in the community from the very beginning I came here. And I am also the member of Aurora Immigrant and Refugee Commission. And there was this program in 2022, the opening reception of Mosaic of Cultures, but Mexican community exhibit was happening. It was the opening reception. And as I go through the exhibit, I instantly felt that there is our community as well. We can also present much more than this. And Colorado alone, I mean, the biggest population of Nepalese people are here in Colorado, Aurora especially. There are other people in Longmont, Broomfield, Boulder, but most of them are in Aurora. Estimated population is almost 15 to 20,000 people.
Wow, okay.
And then in spite of having that much big numbers, not much representation has been made. People don't know. Like I told you, people would ask, where is Nepal? No, I had to tell them on this geographical part. Okay, have you heard India or China? Okay, it's in between India and China. Yeah. I have to further explain that. And I talked to Scott, the director of History Museum, Aurora History Museum. If we could do something like this, I can totally help you with that. And then back in the country, in Nepal, I come from a small city called Patan. That place is particularly famous for the metal craftsmen. My father is a statue maker back in Nepal.
Oh.
And it has been coming from the ancestors, like the art has been passed from generation to generations. And I told Scott about the story, and then I proposed with all the documentation what we can do, the concept, what we can present, what we can do to represent, amplify the voices of our community in the broader sense. So I presented that he was totally happy with that, and then we started working in this project in 2022, and with 1.5 years of research and collaboration, it opened in May 2024, and it will be there till April 2025.
You touched on it. The Nepalese people have such a rich culture and history. How do you decide how to curate an exhibit like this? Do you try to tell a story? Do you present different facets? What were those conversations when it comes to deciding what to exhibit?
We basically reach out to many community members, local inhabitants, local immigrants who've been living in Aurora for past 40 years, 50 years. We talk to them. We also reach out to many business people in Aurora and of Nepali base. We talk to them, and then most of the artifacts, most of the collections, most of the lifestyles, most of the pictures are the collective effort of all the local people. Basically, we didn't have to spend an extra budget of money to acquire that. They would just give them. They have just given us readily for a year there, which has been loaned for a year from the locals itself. And then the participation of the local has been tremendous. I mean, they're so happy that something of their own is happening in the city. So they have readily helped us with all the collections, all the artifacts there, all the layout design have collectively given by the locals of Aurora.
Here at Visit Aurora, we have a campaign called Our Story, Our Way. And the idea being that we let the people of the community tell their stories. I think that's what makes this exhibit so important. This isn't an outside entity that has acquired artifacts deciding what to display. These are the Nepalese people saying, this is my culture, this is my history, here is the context. That is so important, isn't it?
Exactly. The most concrete base had been decided by the locals itself. First, we had put all the collections in one place, and then identify how important it is for the community people to look at, starting from the lifestyle, the food, the language, the festival, which is Nepal so famous for. For your information, Nepal is also famous for the highest number of public holidays.
Okay.
More than 30 days. We have more than 30 days of public holidays just because of the vibrant festivals we follow. So we collected all the data, all the pictures, which happens all the year round in Aurora, and the public and our community members readily supported us with hundreds of pictures which happen in Aurora, which even I don't know about that. And then there are other businessmen who are based in Aurora, but which we don't know. They came over, they came forward. They voiced that, okay, I exist here as well. So we talked to so many people in the community who are representing in some way based in Aurora. So taking all the notes of that, listening to their voices, talking to them, we have been able to set up the whole, it is not that, it's a huge museum, but it's more like 500 square feet of space where we have set up the collective voices of businessmen, collective voices of the social campaigners, and then the artifacts, even starting from the Nepali spices where we have collected. They can get the aroma of those Nepali spices in the museum as well.
What are some of the artifacts and the exhibits that really have some personal significance for you and that you really want visitors to take stock of when they go and visit the exhibit?
Like I told you before, I come from the handicraft, the statue maker back in Nepal. So I have particularly collected my father's collection back from Nepal, bringing all the way to here.
Wow.
Like especially you can see the stone-studded Buddhist sculpture I got all the way from my father's collection, which is in the museum. And I also got, about the sari, the 9 yards fabric which Nepali and Indian people wear. Mm-hmm. We have the separate collection for the fashion. So there is one ethnic group called Newa group, which is where I come from. There's a Sherpa group. There's other caste group as well. So one of the artifacts there is a Nepali bride, and that bridal sari belongs to my grandmother.
Oh wow!
Which is more than 90 years old. So it is there in the museum. And then there is the mortar and pestle, which has been used more than 100 years, and our family has a miniature of that mortar and pestle to make the medicine in the olden days. So it is already there in the museum. And we also have local businessmen who have given us the artifacts, which is way back old. I mean, you cannot find that different other piece anywhere in the world. So all of those are there, and as well as Nepal is, though it's a small country, there are more than 120 ethnic languages spoken. Like I heard there is 160 languages spoken in Aurora.
Yeah, absolutely.
And in our community, every other people, I mean almost everyone, I think more than 95%, I could say that they're multilingual. They have been literally, they have literally grown up with 3-4 languages at the same time, like myself. So we have also got the welcome messages of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 languages. As soon as you enter the museum, you can press the button in your original language and listen to the welcome message of Aurora History Museum. What is that about? So all of those has been covered with the help of the local community people as of now.
Respectfully, are your parents still with us?
Yes, they're in Nepal.
How do they feel about their artifacts being on display? Are they full of pride?
Yes, they are so proud of it. I told them, I also sent them the videos, I sent them the pictures, how that has been displayed. And then I told the stories, I told when I was explaining the artifacts, the exhibit to during the opening reception, we had Mayor of Aurora, Mayor of Boulder came in. I was explaining about the artifacts and then the exhibit right there. I showed them all the videos of those exhibit, and they were so happy about it.
Do you think your father ever thought his sculptures would be in a museum? That's got to be exciting.
Actually, no, because my father has a lot of experience in auctioning the artifacts, but not here in Colorado. We have auctions back in California, and most of our artworks are not that much displayed in the public. It's mostly ordered as per the museum replicas, and most of them are very special that the museums in the other state, in California, they would order the exact replica of the original piece. But he never imagined that something of his original collection would be ever presented in the museum. So it is very proud moment for him as well.
When I explore different cultures, I love the role that music and art and dance and the traditional foods play. When it comes to the Nepalese community, how are those aspects portrayed at the exhibit?
We have portrayed various food, various cultures, because food is one of the most important aspects of our community, because we celebrate the festivals all the year round. When people ask me, there are people usually ask me, when is the good time to go to Nepal? I would say anytime.
Nice.
Because it's anytime, because it's because of there is something happening all the year round, and it's because of the festival, it's because of the food. So we have also presented the food festivals which happens in Colorado, and the pictures of it inside the museum as well. And there's also a video section where especially Nepal-based businessmen are promoting their food. So we can see also the video section inside the museum. And there is also a various gallery pictures of the popular business people of Aurora here inside the museum. So it's a lot more to see about the foods, festivals, lifestyles, culture, traditions of Nepal, basically, in the exhibit.
The exhibit opened in May. What has the response been so far? What's some of the feedback you've received?
The response has been tremendous, terrific, because most of the community people didn't ever imagine that something of their own will be presented by the city ever, because they have never seen that. and most of the informations inside the exhibit are both in Nepali and English. So that is good point for people who does have the linguistic barrier, where they don't understand English, we can't read English. So it's a delight for them to see everything in Nepali as well. And we have lots of offers. We have lots of offers for collaborations from other communities as well. And we've been also organizing museum exhibit tours for other community people, and the most recent one will be coming Saturday. This weekend, we're organizing a museum exhibit tour for a Nepali language school, where we have almost registered bookings of more than 70 people coming to look at the museum, and then we will be giving the exhibit tour for the museum. So the response has been very, very good, more than we have ever thought that as well.
When you're putting together the exhibit, you're doing it out of a love for your culture and of your people, but you probably don't think about the feedback you're going to get. It has to fill you with joy to see that people are responding so well to this.
Exactly. We didn't ever imagine that there would be that kind of responses from people. And starting from the opening reception, we had people, more than 150 people turning up. We didn't expect it. We were just expecting 100 people barely, but we had more than 150 people. And then something like, there were so many older adults visiting the museum. They were so glad to see something back. I mean, they could exactly relate with their country, where they come from, the language, the culture, the artifacts. I mean, so many people were just, I mean, we put the artifacts, the statues there, they were just bowing their head as if they were coming in the temple.
When you look at the exhibit, what's the feeling that you get personally? How do you feel when you see everything?
It's something like, you see, when there is a big game, Olympic or a big sports game happening, you present the country, and then there is this, your country's national anthem. You have that kind of proud feeling that where you come from. It's something like that. People were, I mean, literally so emotional to see something they could relate to. And then we also had a small museum shop there, and most of the museum shops I have been to, I have never found anything which we could have a replica of something similar, like Asian arts. But what we did was we had the Nepalese artifacts in order to promote the small businessmen. We also collaborated with the Fair Trade Group as well. So there are Nepali handicraft items in the museum shop as well.
Wow.
So the people who could travel around and go around the museum, they could come back and get Nepali artifacts, the miniature of those items
Authentic.
as well, which I haven't seen in the bigger museum here in the city in Denver.
That's incredible, and it's just a reminder that everybody deserves to be seen, everybody deserves to be valued, and everybody deserves to be celebrated, and you're providing that for our community, which is completely invaluable. What do you hope that visitors will take away after experiencing the Mosaic of Cultures Nepalese Community Exhibit?
One biggest thing is the existence itself, the voice itself, the representation itself. And then after visiting the museum, I literally feel there will be so many people who would be interested to know more about it. That is, what we are showing is just tip of an iceberg. There's so much more than that. So I think after visiting the museum, people would feel they would like to know more about the country. They would like to know more about the community as well, because so many of our other community members don't know that there are that many business houses in Aurora, Nepali-based, that many community members in Aurora, in Colorado. Colorado alone has, I think, more than 33 non-profit Nepali organizations,
Wow.
which people don't know about.
No.
And then because of that linguistic barrier, because of that cultural barrier, people are not coming out of that comfort zone. So in order to bring them out of their comfort zone, if we could blend the kind of exhibit we are trying to show and the people where they come from, if we could collaborate, we could blend them together, and I think there will be many more people coming out of that comfort zone and be seen together as well.
The exhibit is going through next year.
Started in May 2024 and will be there all the way to April 2025.
So you have plenty of time to see it, but don't hesitate. Make sure you go out and see it. I want to talk about your work with the Colorado Nepalese community. What other initiatives are you working on? What else would you like to see as you continue to grow and thrive?
Yes, of course. So Colorado Nepalese Community has specially collaborated with Aurora History Museum for this exhibit. Or else the usual work, what we have been doing is we have been promoting a lot of our culture work, arts, music, and then we also have dance, music classes, the language classes as well. We collaborate with other Nepali organizations to do that. In order to do that, what we do is our basic connection point is meeting people one-to-one, talking to them, listening to their hopes, aspirations, concerns, and based on that, organize programs according to that. And we have done lots of programs on depending on what the community people want, like mental health programs, healthcare information programs, and there is also this. We have also heard a lot of people about the concern and sense of belonging. So because of that, one of the attempt is the exhibit itself, and we also have other upcoming programs with this whole year round, also promoting the local Nepali artists to gain the greater exposure for them. We have lots of programs like that. So yes, we have till next year, a lot of lined up cultural program basically with the community.
You're doing great work, and thank you so much for sharing your culture and community with us.
Thank you so much for asking me out here, and I hope we can do much more than this, what we have been doing in the days to come.
It's just the beginning. That was Binisha Shrestha from the Colorado Nepalese Community. Go see Mosaic of Cultures Nepalese Community Exhibit on display at the Aurora History Museum, located at 15051 East Alameda Parkway. That's right near Alameda in Chambers. Admission is free. You can learn more at auroragov.org. Thank you for listening to the Gateway to the Rockies podcast. Visit Aurora is the official destination marketing organization for the city of Aurora, Colorado, and acts as the primary liaison between meeting planners and hotel partners. As Aurora's Convention and Visitors Bureau, Visit Aurora's mission is grounded in showcasing Aurora as a premier destination for meetings, business, and leisure travel. Visit Aurora represents more than 75 plus hotel properties with 13,500 plus guest rooms and more than 1 million square feet of meeting space, including Colorado's largest resort, Gaylord Rockies Resort and Convention Center. As Colorado's third largest city, Aurora is located minutes away from Denver International Airport and showcases mountain views, memorable meeting spaces, and 250 plus international eateries that offer a unique experience for each and every visitor. As the gateway to the Rockies, Visit Aurora's role in the local community goes beyond marketing the city as a destination. The Visit Aurora team is here to assist you with your Colorado visit, from facilitating your meeting, event, or convention to helping you discover local flavor and attractions. Go beyond the boardroom in Aurora, Colorado. For more, visit us at visitaurora.com.